Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL 100 Game of the Week on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals as they take on last year's #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the upstart Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel, and they're ready to go as they get set to match up with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. Fairly short kick taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Browns ready to go to work here on offense, and their man behind center, well, that's Baker Mayfield, the #1 overall pick last season, who set a rookie record with 27 touchdown passes. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play fake, Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. That one goes for 24 yards. Baker Mayfield, in all likelihood, is going to be seeing a lot of these Cincinnati Bengals in the coming years, twice this season. And he got off to a great start last year as a rookie against Cincinnati. 7 touchdown passes, no interceptions, and 2 wins. Chubb with a first down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
I'm excited about the opportunity to watch David Njoku play because he's turned into a heck of a threat for Cleveland, both close to the line of scrimmage and downfield. The second leading receiver for the Browns in 2018. He was the 3rd of 3 first-round picks in 2017, and he's quickly showed his value.
From the 41, Mayfield. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you...
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Geno Atkins has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing, Mayfield. It's caught, Beckham. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. Now, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield sacked there by Nick Perry, the outside linebacker. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Mayfield. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The kick by Joseph is good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Out come the Bengals, and leading them is the same man that's led them since 2011. Their 2nd leading passer in franchise history, and that's Andy Dalton. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Mixon with a 1st down carry. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. On 1st down, Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 3rd down from the gun, Dalton. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Bullock's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from chilly Philadelphia. Big Andrew Billings there on the stop. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Mayfield looks to throw. Incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Mayfield on play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nick Perry picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
Dalton bootlegs out. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well. But the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And Eifert has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It's brightened the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From just shy of midfield, Dalton. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Terrence Mitchell right there on the coverage. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try to defend on 3rd down. They like to put...
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way, just reached up and pulled it in, had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Terrence Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Mayfield to throw it. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The sack there by Trent Murphy.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Bills who lead that one late in the 2nd quarter. The Bills locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Mohamed Sanu, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And that game, level, as they take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So Dalton now. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back, and they did a great job in the first half. And now they've got their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So a stop here defensively to start this third quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done is give their offense a nice push in the back as they get ready to take the field.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. They run it again with Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys have been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on 3rd. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Bengals have taken the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield drops it off for Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Mayfield down. This is the tight end, Njoku. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Chubb on the counter. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And again, it's Chubb. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Once again, they run with Mixon. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or 2, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just check it.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up, and what's been so far a tough game for them. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Here's Dalton. And able to find Green. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. On 1st down, Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Baker Mayfield as a rookie 3 times. He led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? Here's Mayfield. He finds his target back in. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mayfield now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Mayfield with a quick fire to Landry. And he's brought down. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Nick Perry getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Yo. Hello. Yo, bitch.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd
All right.
and goal. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Njoku pulls this one in.
What up, fool? What up, bitch?
Touchdown. David
Oh,
Njoku
not much.
with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where
Me and the Browns are in a kind of a dogfight. No pun intended.
Special ops pack. I already downloaded that.
Yeah, mine keeps downloading and downloading, and I'm just like, well, as long as it doesn't affect my multiplayer, I don't give a shit.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out,
It's 17-10 right now. I don't know if you're watching my stream or not, but
no, I saw that you shared it, and that's well, cinema.
Oh, bullshit! They just stripped Joe Mixon, caught it, and ran it in for a touchdown.
So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the
Now it's tied up. God damn it.
Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house. Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly
Yeah, I think I'm almost done with Star Wars. I just got to the point where he was not hallucinating, but he was at the door and he thought he was stabbing his fucking his master, and he crushes his lightsaber.
You're not as close as you think.
I mean, I know I'm almost there. I looked at the trophies, like I'm getting there.
You still got about another 2 hours of gameplay.
Yeah,
as far as story.
I consider that about 90% done.
Oh yeah, I mean you're very close, but yeah, because you still got to go to.
I gotta go back to the other plane.
You got to go to the ice world, and then you have to go back to Darthmere, and then you have to go somewhat to the end, the final level or world. You're going to spend about an hour and a half on the ice world. You're going to spend about 45 minutes on Dathmere.
He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of one, and that's going to lead to a third.
And then you'll spend about 30-45 minutes on the final world. I can't remember what it's called. Damn it. After finish this, I'm gonna hop on Call of Duty, and I'm gonna go ahead and add Brandon on my Activision list.
Yeah, saw that.
Well, it's funny because right after I had that little conversation with him that you seen, there was a guy that started playing with us, and every match said playing on Xbox, B-Wing 43. And William was like, "Is that your brother?" I was like, "Fuck, it might be. I don't know." Which he didn't turn out to be, but
just the odd.
Yeah, right.
Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way.
Yeah, there's at one point in my stream, which if Brandon was watching it live, he heard me say it. Because Money was like, "So is he just like you and Chris?" And I was like, "Honestly, I don't know." Money's like, "How do you not know?" And I was like, "We're not." I'm like, "We're not nowhere near as close as me and Chris are." I was like, "So I couldn't tell you how his personality is." Chris would be able to answer that better than I would.
He's closer to me. He's a pothead and whatnot, and he's a big Star Wars guy.
Hey,
big Star Wars guy.
3 times and 8 chances. This is 3rd down and 12. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes
remaining. They got rid of the fucking pack I wanted to buy.
In possession of the football here as we get you reset.
It's probably on there still. You just have to find it.
Oh no, I'm going through the store right now, and all the CDL packs, and it's not on here. And it was for cheap too. The bundle only costed like fucking 900 credit point things. I went and got $25 worth. Alright, 2,700.
I gotta run a 2-minute offense, go down and kick a field goal. So I do not want to go into overtime. Because pretty much me and the Browns are battling for first place in our division right now.
And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter. You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball.
Got it.
Now, do you? Because you're either
did I get it? Yeah. No, I didn't. Fuck, you dropped it.
Man, this gun looks like an A1. Well, I don't want to buy it, that's what it is. All it is fucking buying the setup. I don't want to buy the setup. I already got the setup.
Ooh, flag on the play. Face mask. I'll take it.
This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, the mark.
And a loose football.
Another fucking fumble. God damn it.
And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Some good games going on.
3 goddamn turnovers in this game. 1 interception and 2 fumbles.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery.
They might win this fucking game.
He is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The drive starting play, a good one.
Then I would have to laugh.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Now Chubb, and an alley to run. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Clock's under a minute.
Oh, I got a ball with the MP5.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They'll run with Chubb.
They're smart. They're running it every single fucking possession. Filling that block.
For the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon.
Yeah, don't use that fucking timeout. Don't use it. Let that clock run. I'm fine with overtime.
And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Partner, you got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
All right, so we need to get this over with.
Well,
I'm not asking for rebuttals or opinions. I've thought about this. I'm not going tomorrow.
Okay.
I've thought about it, and I don't want to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought about it all week long, real long and hard, and just wanted to let you know before they got on, because when Mike gets on, I gotta give him some shit. Last night, a white guy said nigga to him in his stream. Oh, because I went on PlayStation's app, and his was first, Williams was second, and yours was third. So I just went in order on my breaks, and I would just skip every 10% of the line, and then I skipped on his. It was right dead in the middle of them arguing. I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going back, trying to find the beginning of it, because they were on Piccadilly.
I wasn't talking. Yeah, I